I just watched President Trump's task force meeting earlier, and it was very good and very telling. And these states are going to start opening. They should have never closed down in the first place, in my opinion. It's ludicrous the reason why. For a flu, what I believe is the flu. Speaking of which, 17,000, is it 17,000 deaths in New York City? Now, granted, New York has the highest population state-wise. It's probably the most densely populated state. 17,000 deaths. I find that impossible to believe. 17,000 quote unquote COVID-19 deaths. I mean, that's I don't understand that. I don't even see how that's a lot of people. Anyway, back to President Trump and his press briefing. So, basically they laid out different phases of opening up the states. But I'm going to tell you something. At the end of the day, money drives everything. And these states, once they start opening, once one opens, everybody's going to be looking for all the other ones to quickly follow suit. Now, New York might be the one that, is the last to come to open, but they're going to have to open too, in pretty short order, because these states need money. They need money, and you don't make money closed. And if you don't open the state and you keep, this continues, well, eventually people are going to move. When they have the opportunity, they're going to leave that state. If New York and New Jersey don't open soon enough, people are going to leave that state. You're going to have a mass migration. Nobody's going to want to be there. First of all, the governor, Cuomo, and the mayor, de Blasio, to me are incompetent, and I don't know how they got into office in the first place. They're incompetent. 40,000 ventilators, you needed? You didn't need 40,000 ventilators. That was ridiculous. And anybody with half a brain would recognize that. You have President Trump asking companies to, automobile companies to make ventilators. I've said it once and I'll say it again. If you end up on a ventilator, you're not in a good place. So the states are going to have to open. They can put out their phases and all of that. But I'm going to tell you something else. The social distancing, people are going to forget all about it. Plenty of people will want to do it. They'll want to try to do it, but it won't be possible. And President Trump, so Dr. Fauci or whatever, I guess he's a doctor, he got up there and he said, we want, this is the essence of what he said. This is not verbatim. I'm paraphrasing, but, we're not going to just let you fill up auditoriums and in arenas and, big events that have 100,000 seats. No, that's not going to happen overnight. And President Trump, when he got back to the podium, he was like, no, we're gonna quickly move to people going to these things. I mean, come on, Fauci, you can't. I mean, either the country opens up and it just goes on, and if people get this sickness, they get it. What are you trying to tell us, that everybody would die from this? No, it's not conceivable to me. And when you look at certain states, they may have had just a handful of deaths from this supposed COVID-19, even though people were out and about and they were, probably not doing a whole lot of social distancing. None of it makes sense. You want people to wear masks all of a sudden. Plenty of places weren't. New York wants people now to always wear a mask within 6 feet of someone. It's ludicrous. You didn't require that before when you were in the heat of this virus, this so-called virus, quote unquote virus. You didn't require people to do it then. Now all of a sudden, when this so-called peak is coming down, now you want people to wear masks? I mean, get a grip. None of that makes sense to me. But like I was telling a good friend of mine, these states are all going to open up in pretty quick succession because they need the money, or there won't be a state. And I don't care why or how this so-called virus came about. This virus that is during flu season with similar symptoms as the flu. Yeah, this coronavirus popped up during flu season. This coronavirus popped up during flu season. And flu season is almost over, which means this coronavirus business is almost over. It's almost over. You can't cling to that anymore. And I don't know where this came from. There's a lot of fingers pointing at Wuhan, China. I don't know. None of this doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. But anyway, the bottom line is, again, these states need money and they're going to open up and people are going to go back to their normal lives, and this business is going to be over in short order. People won't even remember that it happened. It was so quick. And you really weren't on, in your homes. Remember, you weren't under quarantine unless you were sick, because that's what quarantine is. But you were just staying at home, these stay-home orders, right? And you were still able to go out and get fresh air and sun and all of that. I know I was, and I continue to. So this is over. It was a flop. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. It never scared me, and it won't scare me. Because it's just not based in any real solid facts. None of it makes any sense, and it's during flu season. The coronavirus cropped up during regular flu season. So, like President Trump said, some states might open up tomorrow. I mean, they were barely even grazed. A lot of states are going to open. And it'll be business as usual. People will be going to restaurants, and people are going to quickly forget about social distancing. It's just, even if there's signs, they're just not going to be thinking about it. And I wouldn't be surprised, after all is said and done, that a lot of these people that had really harsh restrictions are voted out of office, just gone. They might have to work at a grocery store after all of this. Because, I think this exercise has allowed a lot of people's eyes to be wide open. And some people, even though they may not admit it, they'll wonder, what was it that we just came out of? What was that? That didn't make any sense. And, yeah. But President Trump, I give him an A+. He did a phenomenal job getting the country through this. No, it's not over, but I'm not concerned, because again, states need money. They want money. When one state opens, then it's going to be boom, 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 boom. They all open. Next thing you know, you're back to life, not wearing a mask.